If you are new to our channel, I'm Sagar and this is Ami. And today we are gonna be exploring Kraków. We are sitting on a bench in old town of Kraków, and we are just waiting for our guide because we're gonna take a free tour for old town Kraków. We have booked this free tour with Vocative. There is another company as well, but they weren't good with emails or replies, so we thought let's go with Vocative.
During the ancient time, this is sort of the starting point of the Krakow Old Town. This used to be like first point of contact for a foreigner to go inside of the main old city or old town.
Oh my god, look at it. The whole fortress wall is filled with paintings, and they are really quite impressive paintings.
You know, we talk about how Eastern and Central Europe is affordable. It's not just affordable to travel, but like for art lovers, it's very affordable to see operas and like Da Vinci's painting. We just learned that Krakow is one of those places that has Da Vinci's painting. How incredible is that? And the fee is very affordable as well. It's just 65 Polish currency. So Wawel Castle is culturally very important in Polish history. This used to be seat of many Polish kings. The architecture is also from Gothic and Baroque style, so it's like centuries old architecture. Unfortunately, we are not gonna go inside of the castle because we are on budget. And second, I think we have seen a lot of museums now that we are a bit museuming ourselves out. But the good thing is on Mondays they have like those permanent exhibition on free. So if you're on a budget and if you want to go inside, come on Mondays. And you see that dome over there? That has 350 grams of gold.
350 kg.
Oh.
This is one of the coolest post office that we have seen so far. Oh my god, it's right in the middle of the old town square.
We are seeing this again and again, that like all the evolution that happened, like it's in stages. Like it's like a layer of cake, and the bottom layer is obviously the Roman everywhere. So this is 14th century over here, and this church you see over here now, Baroque style, happened quite later. I think 16th or 17th century, and now we are walking towards to find out something else. But this is amazing. I mean, how many times have we seen that? Also, one thing we learned, if you want to explore Old Town or like big market square and stuff, try to come early in the morning, but between I would say 1 to 4, it's gonna be jam-packed with people.
So we just finished our free old town tour, and our guide was amazing. And what we realized, listening to all this history and all these facts about Kraków town, it made us very hungry and tired. So we're just gonna find something to eat, and we are going to a traditional restaurant, traditional Polish restaurant, and we're gonna have some pierogi, right babe?
Yes.
I guess this restaurant that we found is where all the locals go, because you see those queue behind me, they are all here, and the restaurant is very tiny. Very tiny. So we just ordered some food to go, and we're gonna have to find some place to eat.
We'll go back to that university park that we come from.
Why not? But the smell inside, oh my god. It's so good. I think we ordered too much. Let's go. Pierogi. Oh my.
Honestly, this chicken schnitzel is amazing. Like really amazing. And this salad, like this is something that we haven't tasted before. But this is another is carrots and just the regular
Coleslaw?
coleslaw. Yeah. Pierogi, it's really nice, but the one we had in Warsaw was just like out of the world, like something else. So good. But this one is good too. Overall, it does feel like it's a very homemade sort of, in our language in India, it's called desi food. When you go to like those dhaba or like those restaurants, it feels exactly like that. Very hearty, very homemade food. Poland is famous for its amber, and we are gonna go to the cloth market, which is very traditional and famous, and it is in the old square. So now it's more so a tourist market, but still we're gonna check out some amber.
We are going to Schindler's factory, Oskar Schindler. If you have watched that movie, Schindler's List, you would know what I'm talking about. But we came yesterday as well here, and there was like a long queue. So we decided to come back early in the morning, and we will about to find out if there is any queue.
No queue. So, hot tip, if you're coming to Krakow, make sure you come first thing in the morning to this factory, museum. Because yeah, you're gonna save a lot of time by doing so. You know, I feel so lucky that we weren't there during this time of war. Like the lives that these people had to live was miserable, and this museum is something I think everyone should come to feel humble and fortunate enough for the life that we have. You know, there was a very powerful quote in the end by Oskar Schindler, and he said, "Life only makes sense as long as you save life." And yeah, that sums up the whole thing that we saw in the morning. But it is a very heavy museum, so prepare yourself for that before you go.
And just a brief story about Oskar Schindler. He was a German businessman, and he started a factory in 1939 in Krakow. And fast forward to 1944, he apparently saved 1,200 Polish Jews at the end.
He wasn't a hero in the beginning. He was just a businessman who needed cheap labor. So that's how it started. But then he saw what was happening with Jews, and I think the human in him just awoke, and he did everything he could to save those Jews. If you haven't watched the Schindler's List, I think it's one of the best
I guess so.
movies in the history of cinema. Go and watch it. This is an open air museum. They have several chairs here, approximately 70. And each chair represents thousands of Jews who were killed during the Holocaust. And I guess this is where they used to line them up, and they would decide whether they should be alive or they will be sent to death camp or they will be murdered immediately.
To prevent the Jews from coming out of those ghettos, Germans built a wall. And they built the wall in a way that it looks like a cemetery. This is the part of the ghetto wall that Germans built during World War II.
You know, when I moved to New Zealand, I was studying journalism. I was a journalist, but I wasn't into the mainstream journalism. So when I went to New Zealand, I had a first cultural shock, and second, not that they were not kind, they were extremely kind to me, but I started realizing that, oh, I'm far away from my country, like India, right? And then slowly I started blending in, and the one thing that I could constantly think about was like world without borders. Like in the end, we all are humans, right? We are categorizing, or like we have categorized ourselves into different sort of people, and ever since I started traveling again, that idea is like in my mind. And after going into museums like this, or like reading about what happened during World War II, which is very much present in Europe, I can't stop myself thinking about it, like why we are fighting, what's the purpose of war. And I know this sounds very childish, very immature probably, but honestly, I just, for the life of me, I can't understand. I can never understand or justify killing another person for just pure ambition, or like just for your opinion, or just based on religion. I'm glad that I don't follow any religion. Yeah, it's, yeah, I don't see the point of it.